lifestyle as a Eswatini. As I conclude, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to encourage all cooperatives in the country to spend considerable effort to prepare a safer and more sustainable future for the movement. Government alone is not enough. The country needs to contribute to cooperatives to avert the worst of the impacts of climate change and thus offer an extraordinary helpful foundation for efforts to promote sustainable economic growth. Cooperatives support people and communities and are true builders of sustainable development. With those remarks, I want to wish you all a very happy International Day of Cooperatives. Afishana bekunene sijabula nje ukuthi sitokubha lolu suku lolukhulu emhlabeni wonke jikelele lapho khona sithi ema-cooperatives noma inhlangano iya-celebrate noma ijabula kanye kanye. Labanye sinabo la kepha ngendaba ya-COVID-19 abaningi babona ngempilo tabomabonakude sinabo singathi remotely lapho khona sitawugubha kanye losuku. Singurhulumente-ke sijabula lokuthi siyakhuthaza lokuthi vele bantu abatijoyine inhlangano iyona ikusasa lemaswati. Sifisele ukuthi nga-2022 sibe sesinebantu lesingathi ekhulwini balishumi nebantu abasihlanu 15% bese bangamalunga enhlangano. Kulo mnyaka lophelile bese ku-9%, kulo mnyaka siku-10%. Lokusho ukuthi-ke ucommissioner nabo bonke labakhona endlini imhlonishwa Vilakazi sibakhuthaza ukuthi abasebenze negalelo lelisetulu ukuze ukuthi sifike ukuthi kushaya 2022 sibe sifike kulo 15%, ngoba lokho kutawube sekusho ukuthi le mali yemaswati kuma-cooperatives seyiningi lomnotho. Sifuna ukuthi ibe yiningi lomnotho ngoba imali yema-cooperatives ayithuthukisi bantu bebuhamba, ithuthukisa thina emaswati, futhi ayithuthukisi emadolobheni, kepha ithuthukisa emaswati le lapho sihlala. Sifuna lokho-ke sikhathazela lokho kakhulu. Uhulumende uphokophelele ukuthi usaphothe lo msebenzi. Kepha-ke ingqikithi yethu namuhla ithi sithi sikwenta konke lokhu singanukubeki indlela. Sibuke ukuthi lokubanga kokuthi ibhasi kuthiwa i-ozone bese seliyalimala, sekushisa kakhulu, itulu alisani, sekuba nekukhuphula umalina, kungasaqhubeki kwelele ngoba intuthuko lengiyo intuthuko lekuba nemvelo, njengoba Minister wa-Tourism asasichazele nge-environment kumene. Siyakukhuthaza lokhu nema-projects esiwabonako lama-cooperatives, siyawakhuthaza ukuthi vele ayinake imvelo kakhulu. Sibonga kakhulu ucommissioner wethu wama-cooperative Make Mnisi lo umsebenzi lomuhle. Namhla futhi uphinze wasiphekela nelitiye lelimnanzi. Siyabonga kakhulu lokho. Kepha-ke Minister, ngibone le ndzaba yethiya ukuthi ngathi inendzaba ekhathi. Mase ngithi ngiyabuta ngiyeva lokusiqala itiya ngathi itawunapha nemkhekhe. Ngathi kunekhekhe letabo lapha unamake enkulu letiko lamuhla basuke benta ngathi sicelebrate ama-cooperatives kanti ibirthday yamake enkulu. Akusiyo nje mhlonishwa Vilakazi ibirthday nje lenormal, ibirthday ya-60. Lokusho ukuthi-ke selilanga lakhe futhi esimbalelisa ngawo emantokweni. Kepha ngiyashiya kuye-commissioner ukuthi akusebenze lokho mkhekhe esahamba sinakayile mkhekhe. Sibonga bekunene ngosibusisi.
sesiyishaye sakhiphe emadini nase sila awu sesihamba umgama lomuthi siyabonga kakhulu ngominister kusisela umsebenzi ngendlela enhle kanje siselele nje i-presentation yinye and imcoka kakhulu ukuthi noma kwenteka lokhu ma-climate changes nama-COVID whatever konke lokwenteka but there are opportunities lakhona kulezi zinto lesayendela-ke mu-director Sistidu Senetha mhlawumbe angakasukumi ngingacela ukuthi President wakwaSWAPO ete ngaphambili ngoba hleze izinatalo eta wenda lenye item ana senior forestry officer.
Siyabonga kakhulu sendisele kunene ligama lami nginguMusa Sydney Sibanda igama lami Sibanda selami mhlawumbe nakuni ngingu-president Eswatini Cooperative Union kulesi nhlangano elibanjiswana ikakhulu ekuleni. Siyabonga kakhulu bekunene for this wonderful day. Sibonga kakhulu nabo balelethu in our respective ministries, commerce, kanye tourism. Umsebenzi wami ke mina ulula. Bo minister siyabonga ukuthi niqale khona la le enhla. But sibukela ukuthi lo msebenzi awuqhubeke seniyowela mama. Seninothana. Sekude emakhamera. Lapha sisa-display kanje nyalo sesiyokwenza wena mama. Ngitawuthi letihlahla leti tintsatfu kunabughalajane-ke emzimeni yonke nayilinyo utawuzama ukuthi asichazele in detail ngaletihlahla leti umlingani wami langesheya. So this is just a gesture ngosi yami le sithi inhlangano telibanjiswana sonke sihlangene sibongela njengoba sekushitiwe ukuthi ngosi yami siyabonga ukuthi nibe kanye nathi kuhlanganyela nathi kulolu suku lolukhulu nalolumthola kangaka ikakhulu ezinhlanganweni telibanjiswana tonke evele. With this gesture we are saying we are really grateful and September lokuthi konke lokhu bekhulunywa la nitawuqhubeka nisisekele nisilekelele kuto tonke letindzawo la sitawufika kini khona sicela ukuthi nimane nisibambise siqhubeke naloku lesikubambile lamuhla sithi inhlangano telibanjiswana. Ngalawo magama may I please present letihlahla leti as a token of appreciation. Thank you. Ngicela manje asichazele ngaletihlahla kutawubese bayeta kuminister bato-temukela selatichazile.
Sendisele ndawulela sisele ngivuna libito lami ngibhekene ngonyama senior forest officer etiwete vasha nemvelo. Lapha sinetihlahla lapha letehlukene indawo zikabili. Kunaleti horticulture bese kubana letinye temvelo. Kulesihlahla temvelo sinanasihlahla lesikhulu lesimcoka lesisibita ngokuthi sibaha nesiSwati. Kusho ukuthi nje induna yinye ngayinye itawuthola isihlahla letimbili tesibaha. Sibaha lesihlahla lesimcoka ekhaya siyasita kakhulu ekwelapheni ifo letinyeni. Lokusho ukuthi nje le nto ayisentawuni ey'pake endlulini, eyinye sentawuni fana emakhaya etindlini. Sifayo siyawulapha umkhuhlane. Siphinde silaphe nabo malaleveva. Sixosha nabo umoya emibi ekhaya. Siyalapha nje ifo letinyeni. Bese-ke kube nesihlahla samangoza lapha, sihlahla sedayele kakhulu, sikhipha tithelo. Lokusho ukuthi nje induna sesitala imakethe lapho khona sitawubona ukuthi sithelise. Bese sesiphinde sesiba naladelo kuyele esilungu. Lambida ethi i-dragon fruit, common name yayo. Nayo-ke i-dragon fruit inesithelo sidile kakhulu namanje apha ngo-Pick n Pay. Nembokodo nje yazo ibita lapho sesitirayo. Shota ithengwa kone mangane. Induna sekunenhlanhla sesitawukhona ukuthi ivune lapho. Nalo kodwa nedolobha lesikhuluma ngalo leli lapha ifo letinyeni. Lehlukene kabili, lelinye likhipha isithelo lesibomvu, lelinye likhipha isithelo esimhlophe. Lide-ke manyeva le. Lapha nje ifo letinyeni lelibomvu liyakhona ngokuthi lize ingakho empilweni. Lokusho ukuthi induna sesitawukhona. Cishe noma lapho.
This photogenic. No, thank you very much.
Siyabonga kakhulu, sicela nishaye intandla. Thank you very much.
Baba kuhle kakhulu, siyabonga kakhulu President naku Senior Forestry Officer for this presentation of a token of appreciation. Aseka phambili Director, I just want to give you just highlight the background cooperatives emhlabeni. Just briefly, aseka phambili, and please listen carefully. The origins of modern cooperatives as business organizations can be traced to Europe. Europe. They later began to spread to other parts of the world in the 20th century. And they are now present in almost every country and in all economic sectors. Cooperatives achieved their permanent successes during the difficult years of the 1840s. Cooperatives are born out of crisis. They are formed by people who are fed up or who are unhappy about certain circumstances, and they come together and help themselves out of those situations. And listen carefully. In every economy where private enterprises or public services are weak, such as in remote or marginalized areas, cooperatives are suitable and able to organize and improve the people's conditions. Therefore, there's no doubt that more cooperatives are going to emerge as we go through this present crisis of COVID-14, which has ravaged our economy. Bekunene we are looking forward ukuthi ama-cooperatives ayaqhubeka aya embili kakhulu noma kunje. Athatha avala lamabhizinisi lamanye ama-cooperatives kufanele aqhubeka embili ngoba kuningi lapho sesikhinyabezeke khona. Aphila kanjalo ke ama-cooperatives. Uma ingekho i-need kubantu labahlangene ibe seyakha le-cooperative. So kufanele nesidingo nesivakalayo lenabani anaso bese-ke sebakhe-ke sihlangana. That's why they are formed by people who are fed up. So bekunene asiqhubekeni-ke nalo ngekho enhlanganweni akangene enhlanganweni simo siyabheka. Nalo bekafisa enhlanganweni washiya sikhathi nyalo sithi asibuye enhlanganweni. Bekunene siyabonga sicela engaphambili director.
Commissioner, this is career limit.
Thank you, Program Director, Honorable Ministers, cooperators, all protocol of that, IPC, Manamusa, Nikamakachesu. When I say cooperators, I heard our commissioners in that way, and I was thinking we are all cooperators as we are here, whether we are a member of a cooperative or not. But the reason that we are here is because we are cooperators. It's a difficult task for me to talk after everybody has talked, including my ministers, but I will do my best. And in reality, whether I have made my work easier. So if I am speaking slides, it's not because I'm having a bit of a technical problem here. It's not because I am. It's not because I didn't know what to say about the slides, but it's because some of the issues have already been covered, and so in the interest of time, we will continue. My next slide was just showing an outline, but we can skip. I don't know for some reason it looks like my presentation is stuck. But the slide that came after that one was basically talking to the impacts that the country has had of climate change, and a lot has been said within that regard. But in addition to the issues of agriculture, there are even more issues that are there. We have seen rooftops being blown, we have seen infrastructure being damaged. Recently, I was a victim where I couldn't get out of my house because power lines, and the electricity line was just lying low above my gate, so getting out was difficult because of wind. And as the climate continues to change, we are most probably going to see more of that, and we need to take action. And for that reason, climate change becomes insurmountable. We all need to come together and cooperate, whether we are in cooperatives or not, but cooperatives present an opportunity for us to take climate action. I have also been made to understand
Yes, that's I know.
Thank you very much. Sincere apologies, and I'm grateful for your patience. Sometimes technology can be a good thing, but sometimes when you have glitches, it can catch you off guard. This was my outline, but as I said, we will skip some of the Okay. I have already talked to some of this, but another thing that I hadn't mentioned was recently, I think the Director of Agriculture talked about that was, and we saw cooperatives being affected where their banana plantations were affected because of the extended frost, and this is a direct impact to the cooperatives, which is quite recent. And quite often we see loss of life during to lightning, among other things, and with climate change, as this increases, we need to have a plan on how to minimize the impact. And as I said again, we need to cooperate. I will not go into the slide because the director has already told us about adaptation and mitigation. And then this one is not my area, but I found it quite interesting. I will not go into all the details, but the Director of Agriculture already talked about education and making public awareness. And I found that this is one of the principles of cooperatives. And this is one area where you can cooperate and making people aware of what climate change is and what they need to do. And then there's the issue of cooperating among cooperatives. I believe there is also an opportunity to even cooperate with, not just among cooperatives, but also with other entities that are there as we tackle the issue of climate change. Later in my slide, we will talk into this again. And then there is the economic and all. I will not go into detail by detail because there are elements of that are coming in just now. Now talking about opportunities for cooperatives. In climate change, there is action that needs to be done, and this action can be organized through projects, among other things. And quite often when you do the project, you find that there is a need to consider how inclusive your project is. Quite often an easy vehicle to achieve inclusiveness because you have the opportunity to deal with grassroots people at community level. It's already been said you can deal with your gender issues, youth, other disadvantaged groups are easily integrated in cooperatives. And then again, project requirements quite often wants to see how your project is addressing multiple sustainable development goals. And with cooperatives and climate action, it's easy to tick most of the boxes depending on what you are doing. And cooperatives in their nature, quite often there is a need And one of the greatest needs that we have in our part of the world is the issue of poverty, is the issue of hunger. And if the cooperatives are addressing one way or the other those issues, even just through making income available so that people can have food, those issues are addressed. And then there is life on land, there is sustainable cities and communities, which when we in our cooperatives we are taking climate action, it's easy to achieve sustainability, and the issue of jobs have already been spoken to, and issues of water can easily come in, which we will see as we make examples of what we can do as cooperatives. Another project requirement quite often is the issue of sustainability, wherein sustainability has three pillars: environment, economic, and social pillars. And the issue of climate action by itself talks to the environment, and we can talk about different aspects of the environment which interlink with climate issues. But we can also and then in addition to that, there is the economic pillar. With the economic pillar, even from the 7 principles which I showed earlier on, there is the issue of economy, whereby cooperatives, they also come in with their resources, and they also want to see that economic value. And it's something that can be achieved through cooperatives, and can be something that we talk to as we develop the project. And then there is the social pillar, whereby it's talking to people, having a healthy life, having good literacy rates, and so on. And some of the examples, for instance, if we cooperate in dealing with livestock, which is an example which I'm going to give later on, you might find that we are able to have more children be able to attend to school and literacy issue, rather than having each homestead in an uncooperative way, having to wake their children up to go to the tent to take their livestock. But if there is cooperation, things can be simplified and such methods can be addressed. But there is a whole lot of issues depending on the climate action that we are taking that can downstream contribute to making the life of people better, therefore addressing the social pillar. And cooperatives, by their nature, nobody wants to go into a cooperative that doesn't benefit them. So there should be some elements of economic value where possible, even if it's not full profit, but it should make sense to the members of the cooperative. So these are some of the issues that projects need, and for us it makes value to work with cooperatives as we take climate action. Now talking about the opportunity areas, there are a lot of opportunities for climate action, and these opportunities can easily be taken up by cooperatives. I took some time, program director, to watch the webinar that was held, I think, on the 3rd July in commemoration of the International Day of Cooperatives. And one of the examples there was talking about waste management, particularly the waste collectors. And in addition to that, listening to the news recently, I was made aware that Pickstick has established a new landfill where there is opportunity for the waste to be segregated in that waste field, which is something that is good for climate action, because then the waste that is recyclable can not be allowed to die in the landfill, but can be taken to do what else it can do, rather than contributing to emissions that lead to climate change. And cooperatives can work in the area of waste in terms of separating the waste, also in terms of coming up with businesses that can see value in the waste, instead of waste just being waste to be thrown away, but being a resource to do something else. There is a lot of examples that are there for dealing with waste, and for us as a country, waste is a problem, and there is a lot of, even at high level, the strategic roadmap talks about waste. There is a need to deal with waste, and if we come up as cooperatives and deal with this, it will also contribute to the climate problem, because with waste we have emissions also that contribute to climate change. And then there's the issue of alien invasive species. There are also opportunities there. I will make one of my examples later, but alien invasive species are a problem in the country. But as we deal with them, we can deal with them also replacing them with trees that are also beneficial for the environment, but also deal with the alien invasive species and in a way that is going to be friendly for our environment and climate, and cooperatives can have a role that they can play in doing that. And then we already have had our trees, we've already had the example of tree planting. It's one area where cooperatives can come in. And again, our strategic roadmap has a target for us to plant more trees in the country. And Honorable Minister, we are looking forward to seeing this happening. And there is a lot of work that we are doing with respected stakeholders to see how best we can push this one forward. And cooperatives can come into the play. Commissioner, you have already mentioned having at least 15% of Eswatini being part of cooperatives. And I was thinking, if we could challenge each member of a cooperative to plant at least a minimum number of trees over a period of 5 years, then it means 15% I think is more than between 150 and 200,000 people. That already goes a long way. And then if we have more of those challenges to do that, then we can have a jump start in our tree planting campaign. And then also we can also have cooperatives that are planting trees within their area for whatever that they need to do as a cooperative, and in that way preserving our nature. And again, in my example, there will be something on tree planting. And then there can be cooperatives working on issues that pertain energy efficiency and renewable energy. There is a need to secure energy in the country, and there are a lot of ways to do it, but some of them could be dealing with the energy supply at various, particularly you talk about remote areas where you find that it's more difficult for other entities to come into play, but cooperatives can come in there and come up with different methods of having energy, which could be renewable energy, and also with something that can ensure efficiency so that whatever little energy that is there can be used optimally, and this can contribute to sustainable economic development of those communities and cooperatives. One example we have had in the country is whereby we had the issue of efficient wood stoves, whereby communities and cooperatives were being taught to construct this, the stoves for the use of the communities, and by so doing it's an efficient use of energy. It saves time for the people in the communities, but it also contributes to the environment and the fight against climate change. And there is also water efficiency. With climate change, water is becoming more scarce, but cooperatives can come in here, coming up with technologies that can help communities save water, including in issues of irrigation. Community tourism, but also cooperatives can come into that. But for ecotourism to be something that is attractive, we need the environment around that area to be in a good state, and those cooperatives can come into the future under UNDP. There are opportunities for cooperatives to come in. But the different funds have different requirements, and most of these I have been made aware that I am aware that cooperatives quite often talk about making a business case for their cases. Now I was just thinking about cooperatives and cooperatives that is trying to keep livestock. And quite often it is said that to make maximum profit from the endeavor, you need to get a product that is ready for the market, ready for the final market as possible. Otherwise, if you just produce the raw material, you get the least profit. The one who brands is the one that also makes the most profit. Now, as a cooperative, if instead of just selling cattle, you target to raise the cattle to the and get to the point where you have nicely packaged meat or even meat products, then we have a whole cycle that we can do. This includes managing arrangements where your cattle are being raised, where they are keeping your cattle, where they are feeding. And in managing those arrangements, you might need to deal with alien invasive species, because if you have too many of them, then you have problems with your livestock. And then you may also need to plant some trees which will provide shade for the livestock. And you might also want to have some biogas plants which will use the cattle manure and produce some energy. And this can be used along with waste that will come from the abattoir, which is at another stage of your production, to produce energy which will then be used for your abattoir and your processing plants. And then you also need to take care of your water, because your cattle need to drink, and also take care of the land around that area, make sure there is no degradation, otherwise it's a So by doing this, while you're taking care of your business, you are doing a lot of actions for the environment, such as addressing climate change and making your activity as a cooperative more profitable. And in that way, you might be using just your own resources as a cooperative, but it counts for climate action, or you might even be tapping into some of the resources that are available out there, through available platforms, and you have a business that will now talk to the issues of poverty alleviation, economic growth for people at grassroots level, and so on. And you tick the pillars, the sustainability pillars that I talked about. I will not go into this one, but it's just to see some of the examples of what cooperatives are doing around the world, where in some countries we have bicycles that are rented to cut down of emissions coming from traffic that are being done by cooperatives. We have bus systems, and this one specific one here is this one, which is an electric bus. It's being run by cooperatives in some areas. I've already talked about abattoirs and biogas. And you also have the cooperatives that are working on installing renewable energy home systems, or even in some cases you have cooperatives that are involved in generating renewable energy at a higher scale, and sometimes also in partnership with bigger businesses, so that they are shareholders. So these are some of the opportunities that are there. We need to open up our minds and work together and cooperate and take climate action, and together we can win so many battles, including the issue of climate change and other issues that affect cooperatives. Thank you very much.
That was a mouthful. Thank you so much, Director, for such an informative presentation. Presentation for us cooperators. So, yes, this is the beginning of great things that are coming for us as cooperatives. So we continue this conversation beyond this celebration. Sinama cooperators. So the food that affects us, so that benefit, there is not benefit. Minister, did you know? I'm very much taken by renewable energy. USA, electricity cooperatives, which serve more than 42 million people. I'm talking about cooperatives. And almost half of the electricity distribution distribution lines in the country is supplied by cooperatives. And there are more than 900 electric cooperatives in America. It's not only America, but supply or renewable energy. And Bangladesh and other countries. I am really fed up in the area of energy. I think some cooperatives, so yes, it seems of bias today. I think the director in the area with that, in the we have a birthday girl in the house.
Now, we're going to have a department, necessarily don't So ngithulile uma bekumdlo wami imali. Ngisebenela kamandini. Ngitokela ngisenele umfishane la. Lokusho ukuthi uShito Minister wasibanike isitiya. Balekele isitiya lekithe. Mina ngitokela la, ngitokela nje ngiyokuzana la khekhe. Lama-ke enkulu. Yi-birthday yakhe lamuhla. Ngeke athi bamhlabelele mana ngingabheka. Kepha nje bamhlabelele le-birthday yakhe. Sithi nje Mdluli siyabonga kakhulu Culu. Sisebenzisene kahle eminyakeni lemide kangaka. Siyabonga ke kusho emsebenzini ukuthi le environment yokusebenza ibita thina lesilanga phakathi ukuthi siyende ibe conducive. Ngoba nawutabona le workplace kuwe madima sizakwenza ngo-BP sibanjwe lonke sibanjwe ngobe isikhathi sethu lesiningi sikhala emsebenzini. Nyalo nje makefuna sokuye ekhaya sovela khona kwakho abangani kanti nebangani nokushiya ngathi sebancane lotafika bakhele ngale ukuthi sokuyavela sokugidinele isikhathi sakhe lesiningi sibe ngala. Siyabonga kakhulu ubengimake wangasebenzi njengemphathi kodwa wangimake nje kuziphathini. Nalota ane-problem yakhe le-personal for kube naso sikhathi sekuyi-attenda kwindaba. Ku-department yethu-ke siyagidinywa kakhulu nduna. Sike sathatha safike singendlela ngasasikhulumela nje njengebantu abathi ukuthi-HPS. Sinalezi nhlangano letibalako lashito letibalo leti sinemalunga lale ku-100 ivamisakele tihlalo letisipako nduna inhlangano letiselimafangeni lamalanga nje silekogunya imontigna isukumile ngemandla sigidimye inhlangano sinzubuye lagunya uzababahlanganisa bafuna ukubamba nabo bafake isandla ekusukumiseni ekubambeni iqhaza letindzaba tema-cooperatives. So i-challenge yethu yokubanga kokuthi nangemhlangano lesimunye nje sinayishaya bese ngithatha imoto yahulumeni ngiyosela lesimunye ngoba nabashayisa lamlumbu wakhe wena kungena emhlangano lokhuluma la makeculuke besigijima naye-ke kulobo busuku lobo hambe siyawuhlala ezivikeli kwematane siyakhulumisa labantu benkosi le kepha besiyajabula ukuthi umnotho lomkhulu wakhiwe ngutelejidaphani ngekuthi lesi-7 yakhona bayathi-encourage ukuthi sibuye ingelela kuma-cooperatives. Isukumile kukhona ngoba nayo mina benza ngathi sebadileya njena nginawethu i-COVID yena singakhona ukusebenza bathi thina sifake imali la sithi abantu abaqale lethi kwanga ngoba iyaphila leyo. So-ke sithi nje nduna siyalibala-ke nakhona la sibarithaye kuye setshentshela ngabe ngete emandla ngwahlanayo uhulumende akangeti muntu. Sibuhlungu kakhulu kakhulu ukuthi naku soyahamba but sijabula nje ngokuthi uhamba uyaphila. Siyafuna nekusicelela abantwana basiphathele kahle. Sabe-ke sakuhlupha nobasole ekhaya lokunye sigcina sisenza njalo nduna athi lolithayitelo sithi sokungibambise kahle. Sithi nje kulukazile nasowusiva kushaya usho hayi sekunjalo uyathi-ke ngishiya ini. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Last item, both of them.
Thank you so much, Honorable Director, Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, colleagues, the cooperative movement present here, the media present here, sanibonani sabahamba ngengozi. Kwami kufishane ngifuna ukuthi ngithola i-doctors ngokubonga umsebenzi esesiwenzile kusuku libe nabangabangaka emhlabeni wonke jikelele. Umuntu angaqala ngokuthi sibonge uNkulunkulu nosivumele ukuthi sibe naleli suku ekiphathini nathi imatima abangabakhona lapho nasazi sonke ukuthi umhlaba ngomuntu aselekile. Kepha uNkulunkulu usenze ukuthi sibe nalo leli suku ikakhulu wasenda ukuthi nanathi sibe khona siphila sivikele. Akayi ngoba mhlawumbe sikhonile ukuthi sanitize ngabo but kungengani ukuthi yena uvumele ukuthi sibe khona. So kufanele ukuthi simbonge. Umuntu akabonge mhlonishwa ukuthi esikhathini sakho lesibhizi kangaka nide nitohlanganyela nathi singama-cooperatives kuselebrate leli suku lohlelo kangaka siyakubongela kakhulu. Asisho ukuthi we are very thankful for such fruitful and impactful presentations that we had here, and the drama which was more of a performative than we just witnessed here this morning. We are so happy and glad and excited for the presentations that have been made here. Special appreciation goes to you ministers in your busy schedules that you sacrifice with your time to grace and lead us as the cooperative movement. We greatly appreciate that. This is an indication of integration where creativity and innovation that the technology has led us today, since we know that the situation does not allow everyone to come. But we are so excited that we have viewers who have joined us in this celebrating this day. We also like to encourage the increased number of everyone has said in the area on the number of people venturing into cooperative business, particularly the youth. We are so eager to see the youth coming in the cooperative business. Siyathokoza minister ukuthi bantu abasha bayangena cooperative noma kunesidingo ukuthi sikhuthaze kakhulu ukuthi bangene kukhona lesikubonayo. Sisho nokuthi sithokoza ukuthi live labangwane nabantu abasha bakhonile ukuthi bathi join the Africa region in the Green campaign, which was a contribution for the youth network towards the team the Green campaign ikhuthaza ukuthi sifundise abantu ukuthi let them ensure ukuthi the word goes green of which we witnessed that excelling minister nasenibona sijabula kakhulu. Sikasisho beminister ukuthi bona abantu abasha baseswatini bapledgile ukuthi etikhathini tetimvula batale bahlanyela tihlahla at least 200 around the country. Kakhulu solokutaka ukuthi we want to fight against all environmental hazards that affect our movement. Cooperative movement, minister, sifela reaffirm our commitment towards contributing economy living as Eswatini. Noma simo sikasela kangaka but singema cooperatives sifuna ukuqhubeka sifake amandla nokusifundisa ukuthi asesibukela amanye ama-strategies ukuthi kunesimo noma sinje ngimaphi ama-strategies esingawabukela ukuthi sikhona ukuthi siqhubeke ne-contributor Special thanks and appreciation goes to all cooperative movements, stakeholders, guests and viewers at home who have been following us in this event. We are so grateful and we wish to thank all the organizers of this event for making sure that it is such a success. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable ministers, we thank you for this special day. Thank you so much. May God bless you all as you go back to your different places.
Ngiyacela babekunena sababuya ngaphambili asikhamba ukubhala indzabeni tekudla asiyingale student ngicabanga ukuthi sitawo bakhona ngala uthola lokudla besikhathi siyabonga kakhulu bekunena ngibulala ukuzisa lo
Sikunika lonke luthumo simakathe ungalona lwakho thatha lonke luthumo simakathe ungalona lwakho ongcwele sibongile nasiqala siyabonga nanyalo sesiyaphetha lutho nongcwele wakho uNkulunkulu sithi evini lakho awufuni ukushebishana nodumo lwakho sesiyahamba babe semakhaya la sihlala khona silondoloze indlela engenkulunkulu sihambe sinawe uhamba embili kwethu emaceleni kwethu nangemuva kwethu baba wethu ongcwele sethembe wena nalamuhla wena wedwa noNkulunkulu wena wedwa lowathi isuku emuntu baba wethu ongcwele nalamuhla sihamba sibuyele emakhaya sithi liduma libuyele kuwe wena wedwa loNkulunkulu uyawulondoloza ngamunye nangamunye wentele kuhle begama lika Jesu Kristu amen.
Ingat pegang.
Not today.